If you don't stop throwing things, everyone's gonna go home.
That's a penis. I can't do a British accent. This is a stupid f***ing joke. What the hell am I doing? I spent $30 on sunglasses like Pyro-Nickels for a 5-second joke. This is why I'm f***ing broke. How's it going, guys? Norell Merson back here again with not Portal, so this video's probably not going to get any views. Recently was the anniversary of the day I finally came to terms with the fact I was a furry and there was nothing I could do about it. That's... damn it, damn it, damn it. I'm f***ing up these lines. Oh my god. There's always a lot of talk online about people saying whether or not being a furry is something you're born with or something that's a result of your upbringing. So I'd like to go back today and talk a bit more about my upbringing and what things in my past may have sort of ticked over my mind to give me this inclination towards enjoying the furry fandom and being part of the culture. Being in the fandom so long, it's hard to think about the times when I wasn't literal human garbage. This is a really hard list to make. I repressed a ton of my childhood. I don't know how I remember any of this. The first incident I can really think of... Incident? Really? That's the word you're gonna choose? Nice. The first real thing I remember that sort of really led me towards this interest in anthropomorphic animals was actually the first Madagascar movie when that came out.
I like to move it. Yeah, I like to...
Fortnite.
After the movie, I was just really giddy. I don't know, I just really enjoyed the film. Something about just the lively anthro animals that just, I don't know, made me really enjoy it and really made me want to learn more about it. Fuck, I forgot about that one. Believe it or not, I was actually bullied quite a lot in primary school. I know you wouldn't think it looking at me, the pasty white kid that was always slightly overweight. You wouldn't have believed it. No way. Oh no. How could Nor have been bullied? What the fuck? There seems to be this thing with primary schools where there's always at least one buzzword that kids will latch onto and use to bully other kids in the primary school. And for some reason at the school I went to as a kid, that word was furry. It always just really stuck with me. I remember the nights when I'd be at home. I'd close the door in my room and I'd just be in my room just like, I'm not a furry. But yeah, as it turns out I am, so suck shit, guys. I'm the furry here. If anything, I think I got worse out of this transaction than they did. Oh, this is a good one. All right. I think the obsession with anthropomorphic animals or morphed animals really kind of stayed in my brain when I found this book at my primary school library called Truck Dogs. I don't remember who it was written by, but the whole story was about these weird amalgamations of like trucks that were also dogs, and I loved that book. I remember there was a solid half a year where every week I'd borrow that book from the library and the next week I'd have to bring it back and I'd just take it back and immediately borrow it out again. And I just absolutely adored that book. The more I look back, the more I see that I've sort of always had this affinity for talking animals, whether it be actual animals talking or anthro animals talking or some weird truck dog amalgamation of animals talking. Jesus fucking Christ, how much crack was that guy on when he wrote that book? I was at Vinnie's this one time. That's St. Vincent de Paul. It's a charity shop for anyone that lives outside Australia, but for the Aussies, you know, Vinnie's. And I was there with my mum and I was looking through all the books because I was a massive bookworm as a kid, as you can tell from the truck dogs thing. I know, right? How the f did I get bullied as a kid? I don't even read anymore. I don't even know if I can I still read? Anyway, I was at Vinnie's and I was looking through the books and I found this book. It was an old book. It was a sci-fi book. I loved sci-fi. My mum got me onto Doctor Who and shit as a young kid, and I've always loved sci-fi ever since. And I saw the cover of this book, and the cover of the book, there was a green alien. I'm not sure if the alien was scaly or furry. I know it was green, and there was a human. I'm not sure if they were fighting or like the human was right. I don't remember. But it was, the cover of the book was so cool. That whole idea of that anthro animal was just so cool to me, and it looked so cool. And I've no idea what the book is now, and I can't find anything about it online. And I just wish I could find it again. I never even read the book. I was just walked up to Mum and it's like, Mum, this book looks cool. Can I get it? And she's like, oh, you want to read that? I was like, nah, I just want the book. What? I just want the book. I want to look at the book. I don't want to read the book. I just want to look at the book. And it's like, well, how are you going to look at the book without reading the book? I just want the book. So Mum bought me the book. And I looked at it for like 2 weeks. Didn't even open it. I just looked at the cover. And I lost the book. I don't know where the book is now. These points are f***ing horrible. Balto. Does anyone remember Balto 1, 2, and 3? I absolutely adored those movies as a kid. We had Balto 1 and 2 on VHS, videotapes. I remember the first time my dad brought a computer home from work and we used it for family trips, he ripped a copy of Balto for me and my sister and he just whacked it on the computer and just let us watch it in the back of the car we were driving because it would shut us up. I just loved Balto. The story was great. He was a cool character and it was another talking animal that influenced my childhood. So where am I going with this? Another movie like that that influenced me as a kid was Over the Hedge. I love the dynamics between some of the characters, and I really liked the fact that there was that one opossum, and the voice actor was Avril Lavigne, and at the time, I really loved Avril Lavigne. Like, I love Let Go. That was the first album I ever got, and everything after that was kind of shit, in my opinion. I loved Avril Lavigne's music, and the fact that she was voicing this talking anthropossum, I was like, oh, this is the best thing ever. I feel like Avril Lavigne's the reason I like so much emo and punk music in this part of my life. The next point I have is, it literally just says Sexy Raccoon Bowling Alley, and I don't know what that means. what the fuck does Sexy Raccoon Bowling Alley mean? It literally says Sexy Raccoon Bowling Alley, and I don't know what the fuck that means. Oh, what is that? Oh, wait. Okay, so I was at my friend's 14th birthday, and the town I grew up in, there was like 6 people and half of them worked at the bowling alley. There was fucking nothing to do in this town. So we went to the bowling alley for his birthday, as we did every year for everyone's birthday, because that was the only thing to do. It was either the bowling alley or behind the bowling alley, and we were all out of here. No. Anyway, we get inside the bowling alley, and we always go the evening because they always have like microwave, you know, fries and pizza and shit, because it's the bowling alley, who cares? But we're just sitting there munching down this pizza. It was terrible, but we were bowling, so we didn't give a shit. I don't know if other bowling alleys did this, but like there was that point in the night where they turn off all the lights and turn on all the black lights and start jamming some fat like top 40 beats at the time. And there was this music video. I don't remember the name of the song or the artist, but the music video were these women dressed up in like raccoon ears and like raccoon face paint and skimpy like boob covers and like skirts and shit. And it was fucking hot. I don't remember what the song was, but for the 4 minutes that song was on, I was just, I hope the adult me understands what I'm feeling right now. If anyone knows what it is, let me know, because it's fucking cool. One of the biggest influential parts of my interest in becoming a furry was at a LAN party I was at with a mate. We were all really good friends, and it was about 3 or 4 in the morning at this point, you know. Some people were passed out on the couch, you know, some of us were still gaming, you know. We were playing Minecraft for like 6 hours, because at this time it was like 2013, 2014. You know, Minecraft was still like huge, you know. Minecraft was this massive superpower, and all of us were just like, oh yeah, person who gets the most diamonds is the maddest lad here. We were all single. But yeah, I remember it was at that point of the night where everyone was tired, everyone was just, didn't want to play games. So we were just, all of us just browsing 4chan on just like on Reddit and shit like that. And my mate's just like, oh bro, there's a you laugh, you lose thread on Reddit right now. And hop on and have a look with me. What the fuck am I doing? So he's on his computer, like we're sitting, future me will edit this in, right? There's a, fuck you. Of the room, there was a desk, and there was 2 of us on either side. He was directly opposite me. I'm scrolling through trying to find it, and I see this thread, and it's an S-fur thread. If you've ever been on 4chan, it's basically a thread where people dump as much as they can. And I was like, whoa. At this point, I'd never seen anything like that before. So yeah, he's giggling and snickering and looking at all this funny shit, and I'm there scrolling through this thread like, man, these animal titties are pretty hot. So there gets to a point and he is pissing himself laughing. There's tears coming down his face. I can see him directly across from me. I look over to him, I'm like, bro, what's so funny? I'm pretending to look at this thread while I'm actually looking at all these animal titties, and he's crying, laughing. He can barely respond to me. I'm like, bro, which one's funny? He's just like, I can see your screen in the window reflection behind you. And I turn around and I can see my screen in the window reflection behind me. So while I thought he was there crying and laughing his ass off at all these you laugh, you lose funny videos. He's crying and laughing his ass off at the fact I'm ogling at animal titties while he's just staring at me. So at that point, I basically accepted the fact I was a furry. Even if I wasn't, I don't think I was going to live down the fact my mate caught me looking at animal titties on 4chan at 4 in the morning at his house. So I got to this point and I realized that, hey, there's this convention called Furry on the Gold Coast every year. I really want to go to that. So I bought a ticket. What the f do my neighbors think of me right now? I bought a ticket, and at this point in my life, Furry was about 4 hours from where I live. The Gold Coast is about 4 hours away. So I had to find a way to tell my mum that, hey, I'm going to be on the Gold Coast this weekend for a furry convention, and I can't not go because I've already bought the bus ticket, the room, and the actual ticket to the convention. So I went out to the lounge room. I told her straight out. I was like, Mum, I'm a furry and I'm going to a furry convention this weekend. And she looked at me and she said, put a hand on my leg and said, don't worry, I've watched CSI.
Oh shit! No.
I look back now, and this is why I hate those whole coming out as furry to my parents videos, because that would be like me walking up to my parents and saying, Mum, Dad, I like cars. But not in a weird car sex pyrocynical kind of way, more in the way that it's a hobby, just like the way being a furry is a hobby. Yeah, in retrospect, coming out to my mother as a furry was kind of a dumb thing to do.
Where am I going with any of this?
The more I look back, the more I realize that I never actually told my dad I was a furry. It was more of one of those things where we were in the car driving somewhere one day and he looks at me and he's like, so, you're into that Furby stuff? And I'm just like, yes! And that was it. That was literally it. I guess in some ways I'm glad I have parents that were accepting of the fact that this is something that I enjoy, and they're more than willing to let me explore that and enjoy myself and enjoy the things I actually enjoy. I just said enjoy like 7 times. So yeah, that's a short look back into my life and a long look back into why I've repressed so much of my life. I want to know what you guys think. Have you guys looked back into your life and remembered some things that make you think, huh, that's pretty damn furry? The more I think about it, the more I realize that I've genuinely always been interested in anthro animals. What do you guys think? Do you think you've always been a furry, or do you think it's just been something that you've learned to enjoy? Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me down below what you want to see in the future, and I'll do my best to make it happen. I've got a surgeon simulator video on the way. I've also got more Portal planned. I know you guys are loving that. New house, new life, new me. I'm working towards being a better person. I've got a car on the way as well, so if you want to see some car-related content, let me know, because I've always loved doing that kind of stuff. Anyway guys, I've been Norell. You've been the Mercenaries. Make sure you check out the house channel over at the Ferals. We're doing a lot of streams on Twitch as well, so if you want to catch me live along with me housemates, make sure you check that out as well. It'll be all in the links down below. Anyway guys, I'm Norell. You're the Mercenaries. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
The sun is directly on the chair, and I am sweaty.